Yet another day of active weather from coast to coast. Nothing necessarily overly dramatic or stormy, but the big focal point will be what happens in southern Ontario. Lots of moisture, rain, and even freezing rain moving through the prairies. We're dealing with an unsettled situation with snowfall, even some freezing rain, especially through the morning through southern Saskatchewan. Alberta, you will improve, and by the time we march into the weekend, it starts to warm up. The overall weather pattern will feature an upper level ridge which will start to build in west to east, moving into the prairies. And that will trigger a warm-up and also a more significant warm-up across the Great Lakes and eventually in towards Atlantic Canada, because Atlantic Canada much cooler than it has been, at least for Thursday, and then you'll gradually start to recover through Friday and the weekend. We'll give you a peek at what to expect forecast conditions-wise from coast to coast, starting off in BC. A fair break from active weather, at least through Thursday, primarily through the morning and afternoon, and then rainfall builds back in from the north, and there's still going to be some showers, hit or miss in the interior, very sporadic, very hit or miss. Generally cooler than normal by a few degrees across the north, generally fairly quiet, no big situational storms we're tracking, quiet but cold, if you will. Still colder than average in a lot of areas across Saskatchewan, Manitoba, with warmer conditions in through Alberta after a cool start, and then temperatures will continue to climb as that ridge builds from the west to the east. Through the Great Lakes, it looks like, yes, we're into rain and freezing rain. It won't venture further towards the north, although there is some snow and freezing drizzle in some areas, which we'll discuss. Through southern Quebec, you're looking at cooler than average conditions, but quiet, and generally quiet across the Atlantic, noticeably cooler than it has been even from Wednesday, with daytime highs through the Maritimes, the mid to upper single digits. Generally quiet. There will be some gusty winds from the west. There will be the opportunity for a bit of snow across western Newfoundland. Wind gusts will still be anywhere from 50 to 75 kilometers an hour. Slightly lighter wind gusts expected across the Maritimes, but it's generally quiet, but cold, mind you, through the day on Thursday, through the day on Friday. Once we get through Friday night and into Saturday, there is yet another system moving in. But this time it's tracking well to the north, so it's mostly a rainfall situation. Freezing drizzle and flurries expected to the north. Sudbury back towards Thunder Bay. This is once again thanks to one system that will be affecting northern Ontario. Southern Ontario, lots of rainfall pushes through. There's also the risk of prolonged freezing rain. Now, I will point out this is not going to be continuous through Thursday evening, through the overnight and into Friday morning, but this is an area, a zone, if you will, with the likelihood of freezing rain, but it will likely mix with rain from time to time, because temperatures during the time period will be hovering close to the 0-degree mark. And a lot of areas to the north, such as Parry Sound, Muskoka, over towards Peterborough, and further towards the north, lots of snow on the ground. Add that to the warmer conditions and the rainfall we're expecting, localized flooding is definitely a possibility. There will be some snow building from Saskatchewan and into Manitoba during the day, even some freezing rain potentially across southern and southeastern Saskatchewan. All that active weather clears off towards the east. There will be another couple of clipper systems to get through. Nothing significant, though. Not a lot of active weather with this. Once we get into Saturday, another system tracks well to the north, allowing that warmer air to fuel itself into Alberta and Saskatchewan. And rainfall continues into the weekend across BC.